One of the things that can be particularly tricky to manage in fantasy football are bye weeks. Like, for example, let's say you just discovered that both T. Higgins and Nico Collins, your two wide receivers, have the same bye week. Well, you could just go into ChatGPT, enable the FantasyoMatic plugin, and you could ask that question. So you could say something like, I have both T. Higgins and Nico Collins on a bye in week 7. Which similar wide receiver with close player ratings can I pick up to replace them? Of course, you'll get your welcome message, and it breaks down all of the different wide receivers that have the similar value to the players that you mentioned, and you can see if there are any that might be available on waivers for you. It even gives you a nice little breakdown here of which ones you might want to choose, and kind of tells you whether or not you think they're going to be there. Same kind of thing here. Let's say you have a quarterback that has a bye week in week 13, and you're starting to think about that from a waiver perspective. So you can say which quarterback has the best matchups that week that are still likely to be available on waivers. So now it narrows it down to players that have similar values that are probably still going to be available for you. So here you can look at players just based on matchups, and it gives you a little bit of analysis to tell you which ones you should probably think about. In this case, it says something like Sam Howell, Brock Purdy have the most favorable matchups, and positive adjustments, which is an upside value that FantasyoMatic determines, they could be solid streaming options for week 13. So use the FantasyoMatic ChatGPT plugin anytime you have to get an idea of what your buys might look like down the road.